Howdy. We need to have a little talk about personal safety and personal responsibility today, especially in light of everything that's been going on in the world with the China virus. It doesn't really matter if you think that that was intentionally manufactured and released by the Chinese for some nefarious purpose, or you're an idiot. It is what it is. And we are all ultimately responsible for our own personal safety. Okay, our little project today is welding on a vessel. And I'm demonstrating a less lethal way to weld on a vessel. It probably won't blow up if you do it the way that I do it. Probably. It might. Don't know. If you follow along and you try this on your own, when your widow and it blows up, if your widow finds this video, finds out that you have watched this video, she probably shouldn't sue me, because you're doing this, if you try this, you're doing this at your own risk. You're assuming your own responsibility. Every man is responsible for his own actions. No one else is responsible for your actions. You are. I'm responsible for my actions. I'm responsible for what goes on in my household. I'm responsible for my children's behavior. You're responsible for your actions. So, if you blow yourself up and kill yourself doing this, it's your own fault. So, let's get going. Let's build a little project. Let's upset the feds. I don't know. Let's do something. Howdy, welcome back to the shop. Today, being it's pouring down rain off and on today, I'm going to build a gas can. And I'm sure y'all have noticed that you can't buy a real gas can anymore. They've got some stupid safety thing on the top of them that is a cotton picking nightmare to use. It's just not a stinking gas can. So, I'm a heating and air guy. Got a lot of empty 410A jugs laying around. I hate to see anything go to waste, so I'm going to make some gas cans. So to start with, this is a 1-inch drop coupling, is what some people call it. It's a straight coupling, but they're made out of steel. They're not cast iron. And I've just taken it, they're galvanized, and I just took it, chucked it up in the lathe, and turned and got the galvanized off the outside, and then flipped it around and turned a step in there for a threadlet. And this will get welded in. This will be your fill hole. And I'm just going to take a 1-inch plug with a hole drilled through it, and I'm just brazing a piece of 3/8 cold rolled rod. Just braze it in there, and that'll be the carry handle and the fill hole. And this is the port, the bung, whatever you want to call it. That'll be where the gas comes out of it when you're pouring. And this is just a piece of 1/2-inch pipe. I turned down a little relief right here, about 3/8 wide, 3/16 inch from the end, to have a little dog knot here so that when I clamp the hose down on this, the hose doesn't just kind of slip off. And 1/2-inch pipe fits up inside a 3/4-inch heater hose like it was made for it. So that's my bung for pouring out of. And you can see there's a little bitty old step milled in there, and that fits down in a drilled hole in the tank to hold it while I'm getting it tacked up. And here's the spigot, same thing, got a dog knot on the end to hold the hose when I clamp it. The cap is just a standard arm cap, and I just turned the stuff off of it, made it look like something that was a little bit more presentable, and then put a little knurl on there to where I can get a hold of it easier. Okay, said all that to say this. Okay, this jug is a 410A jug. As far as I know, this jug has never contained anything flammable, or has it ever had oil put back in it. I don't take refrigerant out of a machine and try to squirt it back in the jug. That's bad service practice that some people do. I don't do it. And most jugs won't even take refrigerant back. They're meant to have a one-way valve in the top of them. But you never know, when you're welding on a vessel, you never know if that's what it's had in it. Even if you know, you still don't know that that doesn't have something in it that will go boom when it gets hot. So what I do in a situation like this is I get a nitrogen tank and I will purge nitrogen into the jug. You know, heating and air guy, got lots of nitrogen jugs laying around. Purge the jug with nitrogen. And you don't have to get stupid about it. You know, this jug is less than 3 cubic foot. So put a little nitrogen in the jug, purge the air out of it. If it ain't got no air in it, it could have a 1/4 cup of gas in the bottom and it ain't gonna blow up. As long as there's no oxygen, you can't burn or have an explosion unless you're dealing with some weird exotic crap that doesn't exist in the real world. So I have purged this out. I'm going to purge it a little bit more, and I'm going to weld my bones in there. And you can see I've got a rag crammed in the big hole right here. Got my hose running down to the bottom. Pure nitrogen is a little bit heavier than air, if I remember right. So hose is in the bottom. I'm going to very slowly, just a trickle of nitrogen through here, and purge this out. Now the way that I, not so scientifically, know that I've got nitrogen flowing through something, because a nitrogen purge regulator is just a pressure regulator. It's not a flow regulator, at least the ones I use ain't. But the way I do that, I lick this part of my hand so that it's wet, because I still have some feeling right here. I haven't incinerated that enough that the nerves are shot. Helps if you turn the bottle on. Okay, I can just barely feel that blowing. Now, I'm going to let that purge for a little bit, and then I'm going to weld. And my heart is right with Jesus. If it blows up and kills me, oh well. But I'm fairly confident that that ain't going to blow up with Jesus, or blow up in my face. So I'll get this welded up, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, so I got my threadlet and bung welded in there. Now this ring, I just took and segmented, bent this in the vise, and then took it on my little homemade anvil and got it beat to where it was halfway round. And this is just 3/8 rebar, because I ain't spending a lot of money on this project. The circumference of this jug is a little bit over 32 inches, or seems like, yeah, 30 inches. I made this, I cut my piece 36 inches, and that makes this ring a little bit bigger than the jug, because those jugs are really unstable. To carry them in the truck, I got to strap them down or they get knocked over. But anyway, the ring goes on like that. And these little legs, they just are what they are. Just there's 4 little old legs, and they'll get welded to the ring, welded to the jug. That's pretty much it. So here's what we're going to use to attach all of this together, the clamp. And these are Oetiker PEX clamps for 1-inch PEX. Now I'm not going to clamp it to the tank, because I want to paint the tank and I don't want to get paint all over the hose. But these Oetiker clamps work great for this. They are not expensive. There's my cheap crimping tool. So there we go. There's I love using Oetiker clamps for hose clamps. They just work good. So anyway, let's back up here and we'll take a look at it. So this part here, this is my handle lid combination. And all this is just a plug. And I drilled one step bigger than a 3/8 hole through it this way. And then brazed in a piece of 3/8 cold rolled. And then once I got it tacked from the top, and the top really good and hot, I flipped it over and just filled the bottom cavity up with braze. Didn't have to, I guess, but it appeared like that would be easier for me to do to make a leak-proof joint than it would be to try to weld this or braze this on a round and not get braze all over the threads. Because this cavity up in here was hollow in this casting. So there we go. Slap a little paint on her, and I believe it's going to be a fuel gas jug. So there y'all go. Thanks for watching. Give me a subscribe and a like and all that crap if you ain't got around to that yet, because I kind of appreciate that. Anyway, y'all drive safe. Watch for deer.